We are just now getting to the DMV where we're going to do a little bit of slow speed practice today. I already got my license. It's not something that I need or anything like that, but I like to practice my slow speed work because it's something that I struggle with a lot. It's something that a lot of people that ride bikes struggle with a lot. So what I like to do is I like to come here to the DMV and I like to have a little bit of practice. As you can see, it's a big empty parking lot and they have a lot of markings on the floor. Pretty good parking spaces over here. They have also this little construction thing. I don't even know what this is called. This little thing, whatever, right here, right before the test, where we can actually practice U-turns. And then once we get here, we actually have the lollipop drill. So just getting here right now. Let me put my visor up. There we go. So let's see how this goes. I like to run this in first gear, first time around, pretty much just using the clutch. Let's see. There we go. Good. So far, so good. And now let's keep right here. Yep. It's 2 times around. Gotta stay inside the line. Slow on the clutch, go back in, out, and perfect. Good. Then I like to come over here. I like to come to this little structure right here, go on the wider side, look all the way around, practice my U-turn, come around, and then I go ahead and I do it again, but this time I go and I do it the opposite direction. So we'll go this way, this way, this way, this way, and now we'll go here, and that's all clutch from here. All controlling the clutch, making sure I give it enough gas when I'm supposed to, staying within the line. Practice, practice. There we go. Exit. Around, 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 around. Boom. And come the other way around. Go to the wider side, this time the opposite direction. Look all the way through. Get a big U-turn and completely mess up. This is why we practice. See? Took that U-turn way too wide. Completely messed up. And that's the U-turns that I'm typically going to struggle with. You know, the ones that are going to be in the opposing direction that you're not going to do in the street. So obviously when you're in the street, anytime that you're making a U-turn, you're going to be making a U-turn towards your left. But as I'm making a U-turn towards my right, since it's something that I don't do often, I took it way too wide, and then I went ahead and messed it up. So let's do it again. Look all the way through, aim, and perfect. I'll do that one a couple more times. Aim and go. Good. Kind of messing up a little bit. Aim and go. Damn, I need to practice those a lot more. Which is exactly why I'm here. I'm a beginner rider. I've only been riding for about 3 months total, and I've seen a lot of my buddies that have bikes, been at it for quite a while, and I've realized that a lot of them really just lack the basic skill of it all. And I feel like that is the major lacking skill of low speed maneuvers that a lot of people just don't know how to do and don't have the proper control of. Even me, the first couple of weeks that I got the bike, the first thing that I did, I dropped it probably 3 times, and it was always doing something slow speed, like coming to a complete stop, or trying to park, or trying to like back into a little bit of a space so that I can put the bike in a specific angle. Those low speed drills were always just absolutely killing me, and that's just something that requires tons of practice. Like if you don't practice it often, you get very, very not good at it. See, okay, now I'm starting to get a little bit of a hang of it. Big aim, big aim, yes. Perfect. Now we go back and we just do it again. This is just something that I like to do. so that I can try to stay as sharp as I can. I actually don't have to take the test because this test I had it completely waived because I took the MTC class over here in California, which pretty much if you take the MTC class, you go through like a 3-day course for, you know, basic motorcycle skills, and then if you pass the class, you have your DMV riding test completely waived. So you only have to come here to the DMV, you have to take the written test, which is like a 30-question test, and then you're pretty much good to go. So that's exactly what I did. After I took that one, I went ahead and I actually went back after I had gotten over 500 miles, and I took the intermediate class, and I've been taking a really big interest in just becoming better at riding. It's something that I really want to do well. I don't want to be that, like almost like everybody else. Everybody just knows how to go really fast on a straight line, and like, I mean, anybody can do that. That's easy. But I want to become very proficient at doing the difficult stuff, which is this stuff. For me, this is the difficult stuff, which is the low speed drills, being very smooth with your U-turns, emergency stops, things like that. And I gotta give a big shout out to Moto Jitsu. He really put me on game when it comes to a lot of these drills, and also I've actually worked with him in person. Every now and then he does like a little slow speed maneuver class in person over there in San Diego, and he kind of has it open to the public, like anybody can show up completely free, and he'll instruct you and give you tips and put you on game on how to do all the drills. And I've been able to go out there a couple times, and it's been great. He's a great guy. He's insanely knowledgeable. He knows quite a bit about having that control into low speed skills. You know, he's driving this huge 1250 GS, and he makes everything look so easy, so smooth. So there we go, and I'm starting to get a little bit. There we go. I just gotta aim a little bit more. Every time that you start getting a little sloppy, just aim harder. Aim harder. So yeah, these are a couple of the drills that I like to do. Another thing that I like to do, I like to come ahead and go to the parking lot, and you can do sharper U-turns. Let me see if I can find a pretty decent solid space right here. Maybe on like something like right here. So what I like to do, and Moto Jitsu taught me this one, but I like to go parking space to parking space. So I'll come around right here to this parking space, turn all the way, go to this parking space, then make it to this one, same thing, big aim, and make it all the way to this parking space. You go parking space to parking space until you start getting a really good hang of it. Mostly clutch and a little bit of throttle. I try not to use the brake. I try not to be depending on the brake at all, because it almost, I don't know, it just makes things a lot easier, and you get a little bit too dependent on the brake, when in reality you just gotta focus a lot more on your throttle and clutch control. The clutch control and the throttle control is huge. That's major. So big aim. Ooh, see, I was almost gonna fall. Gave it a little bit more throttle. Now I have enough space. A car's coming. Hopefully I don't run into him. There we go. Same thing, big aim, all the way. Give it a little bit of gas if you feel like you start falling over, and then you'll be good to go. Perfect. And then once I go all the way down the line, I'm like, okay, I pretty much did very well on that. That's a really easy way to go and practice your U-turns. In between the drills, I also like to practice a little bit of emergency braking. So I'll put it like in second gear, go to like 20, and there we go. And I kind of measure it between the parking spaces. So as soon as I get to a certain parking space, let's say I get to like this space, I know that I'm gonna start braking as soon as I hit this line. I try to make sure that I stop within 2 parking spaces, you know, preferably from this line to that line, but nothing that exceeds 2 entire parking spaces. So let's go ahead and let's do that again. So big U-turn, and we're gonna go and we're gonna aim for the last 2 over there. Let's see. Put it in second gear. Don't do that. See, I'm still a beginner. As you can see, I put it on neutral instead of second gear. Let's try that again. Rookie mistake. All right, let's go. And the last two now. See, that was a pretty bad one. Took me just a little bit over 2 parking spaces. So that for me is way too much. So let's go ahead and let's do it again. I haven't done these drills in like 2 weeks, so I'm pretty rusty right now. So let's see, same thing. And now, there we go. You're almost gonna do a stoppie if you do it right. But stop right before the last line, which is exactly what we want to go ahead and do. So these are the things that I like to practice the most. Emergency brakes, U-turns, slow speed practice is really what I like to do, and requires a lot of practice because it's very easy for me to go like, you know, over 100 miles an hour in a straight line. That feels pretty safe to do when you're going in a straight line. But every time that you have to like maneuver between cars, you're in a parking lot, anytime that you have to do anything that requires actual skill with the bike and you can't be going quick and you start losing that stability, because that's what happens. The less speed your bike has, that means the less stable it is. So when you're going very quick, it's very easy to be stable unless you know you do something crazy, because you're just going so quick, you have all that force. But when you're going slow, you have no type of force behind you, which means your bike is very unstable, very susceptible for it to tip over, because it doesn't have any speed behind it, obviously. So I want to be very skilled in those specific moments. And there it is. Now let's go for a U-turn right here. But I like to go, since I know this is my weakest side and I can do the other side very easy, just go ahead and do this side first, and then I'll do another U-turn. Big aim, big aim, big aim, big aim, big aim. Yes. Do it again, big aim right here. Ooh, really bad. Really bad, a big aim right here. Much better. Much better, much better. And we can go ahead and go back in here. And maybe do some U-turns back up again. So roll up on the opposite side of where we're gonna go. Big aim, and then all the way. There we go. Go up on the opposite side, big aim, and then all the way. Roll up on the opposite side, big aim, and then all the way. Opposite side, big aim, and then all, ooh, a little bit of, there we go. See, every time you feel yourself falling, just give it a little bit more speed, and then you will not fall. You gotta trust the bike. You gotta trust the bike to get to that angle where you feel like, okay, this is almost like the point of no return, and then just give it a little bit of gas, and it just will not fall. As simply as that. It will refuse to fall. There we go. We're almost all the way at the end. Yes. Yes, there we go. Perfect. We hit the pole, and now we go around. So yeah, guys, this is a little bit of an example of things that I do, things that I like to do specifically to work on my low speed skills and work on my emergency brakes. I just kind of go drill to drill. You know, I do the lollipop test that we have over here at the DMV. I do my parking space to parking space U-turns. I come to this little place right here and I do the U-turns around and around and around, and then in between all of these I go ahead to the parking lot, to the more open space, and I do the emergency braking. And I like to spend anywhere from like 15 minutes to like an hour doing these things, depending on how much time I actually have to do it. But I try to be consistent with it. That's the most important part. You know, I actually haven't done this in like a week or two, so I haven't been as consistent, but every time that I come here very consistently, let's say at least, you know, 3 to 4 times a week, I start getting really good at doing all these things, you know, and then I start mixing it up and making it a little bit more difficult and adding other drills. So that's really what you want to do. You want to be consistent. It doesn't have to be a long time, you know, 15 minutes, a little bit of practice goes a really long way. Really long way. There we go, big aim. Yes, perfect. So yeah, I'll leave it at that for the day. This was a little bit of live practice that I wanted to show you guys, some couple drills that you guys can do. And yeah, that's about it. Have a nice one.